Welcome back to episode 3, part 3. It's now the evening. 3 parts today. Hopefully you've enjoyed your day. I'm going to do what I said I was going to do at the end of the last episode. Now, I've just dealt with that. Puerto Rico, £634, 1,902 tickets. TNA Explosion got a 0.3, 20,000 viewers, and AJ Styles has signed a one-night deal. NWA. I ain't dealt with that yet, but we got 95 last night for WrestleMania 20. Jamie Noble and Conan defeat Zach Gowen and Jordan. Molly Holly defeated Karen Murder. Psychos defeat Ali Park. A-Train defeats Spark Dudley. Al Snow defeats Shannon Moore. And Conway and Dupree defeat APA on the pre-shows. An angle with the Undertaker and Brock Lesnar get into a heated shouting match backstage against an 86. A video recap of the Shawn Michaels vs Triple H rivalry. Brock Lesnar is leaving the company. Of course, he's coming to us. Jacqueline defeated Gail Kim, who is on my shortlist. I desperately want Gail Kim in the women's division here in TNA. She has got a while left on her contract, 2 months. So in 2 months' time, we will start bidding for her. And Victoria defeated Lisa Monvry and Stacey Keebler in that match for the women's title. Marvin and Hurricane and Rosie defeated Scott Steiner, Cade and Gingerak. Another name I want desperately on the roster. He's not that popular, but I've got 3 months to wait for him to come to his contract to come up, and we can then start bringing him in. He's someone I really desperately want. Tori Wilson defeated Dawn Marie and Nida. The World Greatest Tag Team defeated Ultimo Dragon and Billy Gunn for the tag titles. A backstage segment with Paul Heyman. Trish Stratus defeated Lita and Miss Jackie. These two I'm really interested in as well. But she's got 2 years, 9 months and 2 weeks. She's got nearly 3 years left on the contract. And it's the same. She's got 8 months. So she is a possibility. She isn't, though. That's the issue. Oop, didn't mean to take it off. That's fine. And Rey Mysterio defeated Trish Stratus. Rey Mysterio defeated Tajiri Chavo Guerrero in a ladder match to retain the Cruiserweight title. There's an interview with The Rock. Then there's a backstage segment with John Cena. The video hyped Batista and Flair versus the Dudley Boys. Batista and Flair defeated the Dudley Boys to retain the tag titles. Randy Orton defeated Kane to retain the Intercontinental title. So let's have a look at something a minute as well, because these two are not loyal to WWE yet. He's got 3 years, 9 months and 2 weeks left. So we've got a bit of time. He may become loyal in that time. Sadly, this is what WWE do. They have big contracts, and he's the same. So we might, in 3-4 years, I said about 3 years, don't we? So what, 04, 05, 06, 07, around about 08, 09, his contract will come up, and we might be able to bring him in then. The Undertaker defeated Brock Lesnar. There's an interview with Goldberg. The Undertaker defeated Brock Lesnar. Video hyping Chris Benoit versus Kurt Angle. Chris Benoit defeated Kurt Angle in a match to retain the heavyweight title. And then Triple H defeated The Rock to retain the WWE World Heavyweight title. Getting 95, only 49,000. Brilliant ratings for pay-per-view buys. Very good for the company. All Japan had their show last night. Not the best. So did Keiji Dovo. Now we're going to do this. I'm going to order by size. There we go. So these are the biggest companies. We are number 3 in the world. We are just behind New Japan now, which is great. And we're going to just going to look at the titles. Chris Benoit is your world champion. World Heavyweight Triple H. Tag Team Champions Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas. Royal Rumble. Shawn Michaels won the Royal Rumble in January. Women's champion is Victoria. Intercontinental champion is Randy Orton. United States champion is The Big Show, who sadly we ain't going to get for ages. He's got 3 years, 9 months, nearly 4 years on his contract. And then Rey Mysterio as well, who is on my shortlist, but he's only got 9 months. So he's a bet as well that we can get him in by 2005, when I want to start putting the rocket ships on TNA and really start pushing stuff with the thing. So the best of Super Juniors is the title for the single. It's competed for only the best Super Junior finals. It's fought in its full tournament. They are rank limits in the contenders who must be known over in the middleweight. Messi Kadhata won it in last year. We haven't had that yet because it's not June. We haven't had the G1 climax yet because it's not that time. But the Yuji Nagata beat Shinsuke Nakamura for the IWGP Heavyweight title. Yuji Nagata still wrestling now. Heat. I've never heard of Heat before. Minoru Tanaka. Now I have. He is your IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. Junior Tag Team Champions Juice von der Liger and Kaija Kamuta. Really desperately want Juice von der Liger on the contract, but he feels that TNA is too small for him, and it's really annoying. Hiroshi Tensai and Yoshihara Tanakamura are the current IWGP Tag Team Champions. So they're Junior Heavyweight, their tag team, and under 30 open weight is Hiroshi Tanahashi. Now, I'm not sure when the Neverbouts came in. I want to bring them in for New Japan when they did come in. Then there's us. Then there's CMML, who's next in the size. They're classified as big. Mr. Nebula World Light Ultimo Guerrero, Venus, Elmer Charles Jr., Universe 2000 Marcus Allen 2000, Black Tiger 2, Universe Dr. Wagner Jr., and also go. We'll just have a quick look now. I want to show you what I've done. Shikara. Oh, Shikara. I love Shikara anyway. World Tag Champion, Tag League, World Floating Championship of Teams, any gender. I do like Shikara. I'll work Shikara into our stuff, and about 08 I'll bring in the titles for them. Ring of Honor Wrestling. World Champion is currently vacant because it was Samoa Joe who has left the company to work with us. We've took our contracted wrestlers, like it happened in real life, we've took all our contracted Ring of Honor wrestlers out of Ring of Honor Wrestling after the debacle, which is why Bryan Danielson and Homicide have no longer hold the titles. And the Pure Championship is also vacant because it was AJ Styles, and we've took him from the shows. So Karen Silky is currently the owner. They've got a good roster now, but all of the wrestlers like Bryan Danielson and CM Punk and all that lot have left because they've signed with us permanently. I know that CM Punk did in real life, but he was willing to do it this time. But yeah, so I've fired the guy. The only big star they've got is Jim Cornette, which is quite interesting. But yeah, so he's currently OVW Booker. But yeah, so he's been taken out, and then it's going to be given to them. They've got names like Nigel McGuinness in there. Nigel McGuinness, I swear Doug Williams is on the roster as well, but it might not be now. But yeah, so they have a good roster. Hopefully they can get back into some form. But you can see they're quite far down there. See, Combat Zone Wrestling is quite far up on this as well. Homicide is a world champion. World Junior Heavyweight is a Messiah. Iron Man is Necro, but Tournament of Death hasn't happened yet. That happens in July. Best of the Best hasn't happened yet. That happens in April. And then the World Tag Team is Rick Ferguson and Chris Hero. A lot of these wrestlers I'm not bringing all in one go because I would end up being overrun, but I am keeping an eye on a lot of them. But yeah, this is where the world is at the moment. It's quite an interesting world. As you can see, All Japan Pro Wrestling is all the way down here. Kazu Masahiro and Disun Shinoko, Kenzo Sasaki, Kaija Muta and Arashari. That's the great Muta, isn't it? Ooh, shall we start a relationship with these guys as well? Taka Mishinaki, and then they've got their tournaments as well. What's our relationship like? All Japan and New Japan have quite a positive. Adopter friendly, proposed talent trade. Okay, we don't show Okay, that's fine. We're not going to offer them any money. But yeah, so I'd like to get a working agreement with them as well. I like the Japanese scene. But yeah, as I said, we're going to show you a couple of the three guys. We're going to show you the three guys we brought in. As you can see here, this is Kira Azama. You can have a look at his contract. He's on an exclusive contract for $2,600 a month. His contract is 2 years. Initial over 2 years. The Ironclad, because he's in here, he's on Uki Young Lion. Basically, has balance to New Japan. He's here because he's from New Japan. So he's here on excursion. And as you can see, they're sent on excursion hired by TNA. Let's have a look at Hiroki Goto. We had all three of them offered. I was like, yes, man. Let's have them bring them all in free. See there, he's on excursion. We've got some work to do with these guys, but this is my goal now. These guys are going to be getting a lot of TV time together in in multi-man matches over the first few weeks, and once we get up in popularity, they will then start appearing on the actual pay-per-views. But I need to build their popularity up first. But this 7 popularity is not just from them, it's from them appearing on house shows as well. But I'll see you in 4 days' time for Explosion and TNA Impact. We'll see you for that very soon. We are back. Hello. I was going to click start on the show. I forgot to click the start button. It's something you always do. This is better this week. I put them against some of the bigger names who are going to get better ratings. So in about Table Wrestling Legends Crowd, we open up with Kira Anazawa, Raisik Taguchi, and Hiroki Goto. Defeating Easy Skipper, Kid Cash, and Michael Shane in 76 when Kira Anazawa pinned Kid Cash with a missile dropkick. Hiroki Goto 27, Taguchi 23, Akira Anazawa 20, Michael Shane 44, Kid Cash 60, and Elite Skipper 62. Goes to 48. Not bad. In about Wrestling is the Briscoe Brothers and Samoan Connection defeated most Machine Guns and Strong Brothers in 8:27 when ECMO pinned Alex Shelley with a Samoan Splash. ECMO 51, Sonny Siaki 45, Mark Briscoe 39, Jay Briscoe 31. Cydric Strong 23, Roger Strong 48, Chris Sabin 42, Alex Shelley 34. Nice tag match there, just to fill up the time. Also because I don't seem to find a place to put all the only 4 proper tag teams we have on the roster. on the main pay-per-view. And we are in Texas, Austin tonight, Sports Center. The house show tour is now heading to Canada. I literally have the house show tour set up to go everywhere in the world it can go to. So we're now in Canada, only getting 100 fans, but that's fine. And then we get an angle which gets a 46. Dustin Rhodes was very poor trying to improvise dialogue. And we see Dustin and Dusty Rhodes backstage getting ready for their match. And just like, look, man, you've lost a lot since coming to TNA, but you've got some wins over the past few weeks. You need to go out there and fight. I know you had a setback, but this is the time for you to rise up and become the next Rhodes star. And Dusty's like, thanks, Dad, for your support. I'm ready. Let's go out there and prove the Rhodes name means something. And Dusty, that's the spirit. And he has a 64. No, just a nice little 5 and Sun angle. I thought it'd be good. In the Battle Wrestling Announcer's Credit, Legend defeated Sanjay Dutt in 808 by pinfall. 29. Let's go over that one. We know these matches are going to be bad. This did well. In about a decent wrestling, but little heat, Dustin Rhodes defeated Minoru Suzuki in 22-22 by pinfall the Lone Star State of Mind. Minoru Suzuki 52, Dustin Rhodes 57. We know that Minoru Suzuki is leaving us very soon, so... And I'll eventually get him back. But it gets a 59. That's where we finish the show. Hopefully, yeah, 58. That's better. With a 59 and a 64 angle. And these two good matches here. Just that one bad one. That's good. Well, we'll see you guys for the main card. TNA on ESPN is coming up next. Well, eyeballs, Ducks, I've got to take away the NWA bit. Welcome to the Texas Austin Sports Center tonight. We are sold out in front of 2,000 people. We get a look back at last week's show, and the new belts are shown on the screen, and it says no more NWA. Then we cut to the venue. Pyro goes off on stage, and now it's saying 2 weeks' time there'll be a super special TNA on ESPN. All titles will be on the line. They talk about tonight's main event, and some of the matches, including AJ Styles, will face Sting in the semi-main event, non-title tonight. That will all change, and you'll find out why. Jarrett comes out without his music, and he just storms to the ring. And Jarrett cuts some promo, and he's like, to Jerry, so tonight I've got to face Samoa Joe. Well, I'm not going to sit in the back and wait for the match. I'm going to come out here and have my match right now. Because when I win in 2 weeks, it's going to be... When I win in 2 weeks, it's going to be me. It's going to be me facing AJ Styles for the TNA World Title, Heavyweight Championship. You see, TNA Wrestling can do what they want, but this is my show, and this is my time. Samoa Joe's music hits. Just give me a second. Mick, there you go, Adam. There you go. Not that one open. There you go. Where's that one you go on that side? Right, that's the cat story because he wants to go in the wardrobe. In about a great wrestling and decent crowd, Jeff Jarrett drew with Samoa Joe in 5:43 for a double qualification. Oh God, I pushed the wrong one now. Right. Back. Right, let's get this bloody done, shall we? So yeah, so Jeff Jarrett drew Samoa Joe in 5:43 of Honda's qualification. Originally, Samoa Joe was going to beat Jarrett, but Jarrett's sticking his oar in with his creative control. So I'm going to edit his contract. He will not have creative control after tonight. Gets a 73, not bad. We're going to go into an angle after this where Bret Hart comes out. After the match, Bret Hart music hits and he comes to the ring and Bret's like, fine. If you do want to get yourself DQ'd, then you've got another match tonight, Jarrett. If you and Joe win, then in 2 weeks, that special show will be Sting, AJ, and Joe for the world title. If you lose, then you'll face Sting and Joe. You'll face Sting and Joe will face AJ. Now get out of that ring. Bret Hart's fuming with him at this point. So they've got another match tonight, and it'll be Samoa Joe and Jeff Jarrett taking on AJ Styles and Sting later on in the evening. And if they win, it'll be a fatal four-way. If they don't, Joe will get the one-on-one match he is having, and Jarrett will have to face Sting. In a decent match, Abyss defeated Jeff Hardy in 8:18 by pin of the Black Hole Slam. Abyss 57, Jeff Hardy 66, got a 67 overall. Not bad. And then after the match, Abyss gets up and out of nowhere, RVD is in the ring and he's attacking Abyss. He gets joined by Sandman, Tommy, and Rhino. They're beating on Abyss. They're beating on Abyss, and then out comes the New Church with steel chairs for the save. No sign of James Mitchell, but they do check on Abyss, and then Abyss gets up and just walks away from them. But you can see him starting to think about it now. But as we know, RVD, Tommy, Rhino, and Sandman will all be together tonight to take on the Sin, Slash, and Tempest later on. So that's a bit of an angle, bit of fun. Then we go backstage and we see Raven sat on boxes, and he's looking into the camera. And he's like, "Look like my goal has changed since the underwear tie is no more. You see, my target is the TNA World Heavyweight Championship now, and that will be Josh's as well. In 2 weeks on TV, we will see the future star, who the future star is when we meet in the ring. Your Raven is ready to prove why he should be number one contender." Quote the Raven. Nevermore. A very simple promo explaining that his target is now changed. Gets a 54. And about a great heat and good heat and decent wrestling, Roddy Piper defeated Josh Barnett in 7:21 by pinfall. Roddy Piper 70, Josh Barnett 7:21. I swear I told, yeah, Josh Barnett should be distracted by Raven. So why isn't that showing up there? Okay, gets 65. Josh Barnett should have been distracted by Raven, but it doesn't say it on there. 65, not bad. In a decent terrible match, Johnny Devine defeated James Storm in 7:44 by from the Divine Invention after Don Callis interfere. Johnny Devine 29, James Storm 45. So Storm is literally beating on Johnny Devine. You see here he's being kept strong in the bondment, but you know Don Callis gets up and attacks him. They get the win. And in about a decent match of crap, Super Wrestling CM Punk defeated Raven in 7:58 by the Pepsi Plunge. Raven 52, CM Punk 45. These two don't click and make one talk about. That's bad. And then Josh Barnett comes out and interferes against Raven to help CM Punk get the win. It gets a 53. Not showing up there. After the match, Roddy's music comes out and he just looks pissed off about this. And he goes, every time one of us four in the same ring, someone else gets involved. Next week, Punk and Josh Barnett versus Roddy Piper and Raven. We'll set this once for all. Then in 2 weeks, CM Punk, your ass is mine. And Josh Barnett, Raven's coming for you. So we've got a huge match there planned for next week. It's going to be an interesting one, to say the bloody least. It's going to be Roddy Piper. It's going to be Roddy Piper and Raven taking on CM Punk and Josh Barnett. The only match I got planned for next week. There's Bill Goldberg's name again. This is why I can't keep it a secret. CM Punk, Roddy Piper, Raven, and CM Punk and Josh Barnett. And there we go. That's booked in for next week's show. See, Josh Barnett is actually, technically speaking, an actual active wrestler, so he can be used. King of Pancras. He's wrestled in Pancras, but that's fine. But yeah, so match what's going to happen next week. Hopefully that will get some eyes on the company because of Roddy Piper. It's 61. In a battle of great heat and decent wrestling, Diamond Dallas Page and Mick Foley defeat Glenn Gilberty and Monty Brown in over 3 when Diamond Dallas Page pinned Glenn Gilberty with a diamond cutter. Mick Foley 81, DDP 71, and Monty Brown 46, Glenn Gilberty 48. Gets a 72. Just had to get these two on screen. I love these two. In a decent match, Team Extreme, Tommy Dreamer, Rhino, and the Sandman defeat the New Church, Tempest, Sin, Slash, and Sin in 13:38 when Rhino pins Sin with a gore. Sin 30/45, Tempest 53, Sandman 41, Rhino 77, and Tommy Dreamer 67. Gets a 58. That is a beautiful match. Hopefully this feud's going to be quite good. Of course, the New Church will be losing here tonight, and there will be some complications into that where Tommy Dreamer. But anyway, we'll get into all that later. Gets a 58. Beautiful match. Can't complain. In about great wrestling and good heat, AJ Styles and Sting defeated Samoa Joe and Jeff Jarrett in 14:34 when AJ Styles pinned Jeff Jarrett with the Stars Clash. Sting 95, AJ 58, Jeff Jarrett 64, Samoa Joe 79. Once again, a 75, a beautiful rating. And of course, they've lost. So it'll be AJ versus Joe in 2 weeks and Sting versus Jarrett. But we're going to get into the next angle where these lot just continue fighting despite the attempts by security breakups and outlaw brawl to the back. Get a 72. Nice angle. And then Jerry Lawler comes out. We get this royalty style music comes out, and Jerry Lawler comes out on the stage, and Jerry's like, I am on TNA Wrestling, and next week I join Don West and Mike Tenay on commentary for the show. I have come here to make this show watchable and be the best commentator at that desk. See you lot next week. Gets a 66. We should have scripted him. Anyway, not a problem. JB's like, tonight has been wild, and next up is time for the main event. Joining me now, the X Division champion, Bryan Danielson. And Bryan's like, tonight's the biggest fight, JB. Tonight, Danielson's ready for me, and I'm ready for him. We've got a big match tonight, and this is on the line, and it proves TNA have faith in us. Tonight, I'm going to go in champion, and I'm leaving champion. TNA have turned me into a star, and right now, we're touring the world. We are in Canada twice a week, and I have faced some of the best. But tonight, it is the best of the best. But next week, Michael Shane gets his rematch. I am ready for this. And JB Live, that is next, live. And in a bout of superb wrestling and a decent match from the crowd, Bryan Danielson defeated Christopher Daniels in 25 minutes 26 by Pimple the Dragon Suplex. Bryan Danielson makes defense number 2 of the TNA X Division title. Christopher Daniels 82, Bryan Danielson 81, a 76. Holy shit! And we're going to close with a big angle, which isn't going to do as well. I was ready for that. So after the match, Bryan gets up and celebrates the win by running around the ring with a belt. And Christopher asks the mic and he looks at Bryan and he goes, well done, you beat me. One more match. We tore the house down tonight. 2 weeks, all titles on the line. Ultimate X3. Bryan versus Danielson for the title. One more chance for me to beat you to prove your X Division through and through. And Bryce, you know what? You're on. I'm ready. See you in 2 weeks. So in 2, I don't know why he's not on screen. So next week it will be Bryan Danielson guaranteeing his rematch to Michael Shane. Now it's interesting. I've said if Michael Shane wins, it will be a triple threat Ultimate X match. But if not, it will be a one-on-one between Bryan Danielson and Christopher Daniels in 2 weeks. It's going to be live on the show. And it'll be Ultimate X. Oh, I've done Christopher Daniels again. No, not Christopher Daniels. It's Michael Shane. We're talking. I can't book things in for 2 weeks in advance. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. We know they're poor fighting, but that's fine. I should be big enough now to do an Ultimate X match if it's in the game. Let's have a look. Should be in the game because I have loads of matches. You can see cinematic matches, dog collar matches, empty arena. If Elevation X is in the game, then obviously Ultimate X is. All these sort of matches they try to bring in for the Ultimate Destination X pay-per-views. Quite literally, that was Evolution X. I swear it was Rhino versus AJ in that. In one of them, yes, so we can use the Ultimate X, so that will be happening. That won't be happening next week, by the way. But Ultimate X 3 will be Bryan Danielson versus Christopher Daniels, or it'll be Bryan Danielson, Michael Shane, and Christopher Daniels. You already have a segment pre-booked with that name, do I? No, I ain't changed that. There we go. No, I don't. And then that's where we finish the show. With a huge way to close the show, announcing another match. Again, there's a 73 overall, increasing our popularity in 29 freaking regions. We would have gained one popularity in region, but the growth was restricted due to the limited number of viewers there. That's fine. I can cope with a 73 and 29 increase. I'm going to stop recording this. I'm not going to go on. I'm going to do it in 2 separate parts, this part. But we have another NWA TNA on ESPN. No, we don't have a TNA on ESPN. I need to get rid of the NWA bit. But we have another one of them and another explosion. And then this episode will be done. And this will be the 3rd part. But holy shit, these shows are getting good. Hello and welcome back to part 3. It's a new day. Yesterday I recorded parts 1 and 2 and the beginning of part 3, which you'd have seen, and now I'm doing the rest of part 3 today. Welcome along. How are you doing? Hope you're all well. So I've decided that because we are hammering money like nobody's business, and I mean I'm having to keep using Daddy's money, which I'll have to eventually pay off as a loan. I'm not going into all that. I have to keep adding money to the company, otherwise we'll be bankrupt. I've done a new thing. This is my show. So I'm going to go somewhere in the United States of America once a week with TNA Live. It's not going to be broadcast anywhere. As you see, Winter Self has got 2,770 fans. It's just my way of putting everybody on the show on a card. As you can see, Shinsuke, Lex Luger, Komiyama, Beth Phoenix and ODB, the Motor Machine Guns. So that's what that is about. It's just for me. I'll put this up so you can have a quick look and see some of the matches I did. And if you see anything you want to see on the show, let me know. I'll book it. What's the other thing I need to talk about? Yes. The TNA X Cup 2004, number 2. It is the second one I've done. I've called it number 2 because of what reason? I don't know if I can manage that and take that name out because I booked one. I forgot to set the rules up. Just do that. There we go. So this is the X Cup 2004. Now, I know the X Cup was single elimination. If you can hear the washing machine, I apologise. I've got it. I'm doing a hot wash to clear the pipes out. But yeah, so it was a single elimination tournament. I've gone for a different approach. The X Cup this year is going to be a round robin tournament. So they're going to face everybody. You're going to have a match where they face everybody, and then the two people with the most points at the end of facing everybody will face on the final night. I don't know when that will be. Whenever I finally get around to everyone facing, but there will be 2 matches on. There'll be 2 matches on Explosion and 2 matches on 2 matches on Explosion and 2 matches on the NWA TNA weekly pay-per-view thing, which is now moved. I've worked out that Spike TV have a bigger coverage in America than ESPN did, so I've removed us from ESPN. I've got 12 show deal with Spike for the next 6 months. Then I can renew it. So if I do run out, I'll have to come up with a different plan. But I think we should be all right if we've done the maths correct for those shows. But yes, so this is the deal. So in the tournament, we've got Jay Lethal, Elite Skipper, Sanjay Dutt, Loki, Petey Williams, Jerry Lynn, Ryson Taguchi, Kid Cash, Akira Anazawa, and Matt Seidel. So they're all in the tournament. They're all going to be wrestling. Tonight you can have Anakara Zarara versus Taiguchi. The 2 young lions from New Japan are going to face. And if I remember rightly, it's Elite Skipper and Jerry Lynn I've picked. for the main event. I'm not sure yet, but Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt will be on the TNA on ESPN, and Low Key will be taking on Petey Williams as well. They're the two matches you're going to get on the thing. Do believe we'll have a look at the tournament after this is finished. But yeah, so you can see how it does. But in about October, there's a crowd here: Hiroshi Tanahashi, Just Incredible, and Eric Watt defeated Team Canada, Bobby Roode, Eric Young, and A1 in 8 of 5 when Hiroshi Tanahashi pinned A1. A1 31, Eric Young 35, Bobby Roode 40, Eric Watts 35, Just Incredible 29, Hiroshi Tanahashi out there with 51. And I think that's the thing you've got to look at as well. That's amazing. Yeah, well, that's fine. I know that was going to be a problem, but Hiroshi Tanahashi, someone I want to keep around. Sadly, we're losing Minoru Suzuki for a while because of agreements. But yeah, I think Hiroshi Tanahashi proved himself there. Brilliantly done. Well done, Hiroshi Tanahashi. In a terrible match, the Samoan Connection defeated the Strong Brothers, and I wouldn't say this is terrible. 47, and you're calling this terrible. Defeated the Strong Brothers in 8-12, and Sonny Siaki pinned Roger Strong in the CRP minutes now. Cedric Strong 22, Roger Strong 49, ECMO 49, Sonny Siaki 45, 47. I'm going to tell you now, that isn't bad. That's pretty decent in-ring quality there. That's a 47, not bad. In about 12 wrestlers, credit Koriyama defeated Beth Phoenix in 8:20 by pinfall. Koriyama 41, Beth Phoenix 21-3. As I said, this is going to be a long road, so bear with it. It's a 27. As I say, the knockouts are not going to get much on TV because of their popularity, and I need to get more women. I need to get more popular women, which is what we're going to be working on, as I've shown you in the last. When we went over the world, I told you who I'm aiming to get in the future. Coming months, 5 months, I think it's 6 to 7 months contracts on them. Oh, nice bit of brisket brew. But yeah, so I think, with the women we've got now, we build them up, get some popular women in, nick them from the WWE, bring them to the Knockouts division. It's something we're going to have to do. But against a 27, not bad. This only got a 17. I was prepared for that, but Rysen Taguchi defeated Akira Anazawa in 82 by the missile dropkick. Akira Anazawa 19 with Taguchi got a 25. I'm going to go in and sort their finishes out, but I've just watched Taguchi versus Show, Best of Super Juniors this year. What a match! I'm sorry, but the Best Super Junior card with that match on, I can't remember if it's I think it's the 20th. No, it's 23rd, I do believe. 23rd's Best Super Junior show. The main event was awesome. Watto versus Bushi. But Doki and Ticking Time Bomb, Hiromu Tanahashi. Ooh, that's a match. I want them to do it as a main event. And in a bout with these wrestling number 3, Jerry Lynn defeated his Skipper in 8:17 by pin with the Cradle Power Jerry Lynn 63, and his Skipper 65. Got a 67. I think that's the best main event we've ever given at Spike TV for an explosion. But as a part of the TNA Super X Cup, so the X Cup, you're going to get some good matches. I think the people I've picked for it, I only can have 10 people, and I want to do a TNA Cup after the special on next week. The big super special show, which is going to be announced. There's going to be some matches announced by Bret Hart. Bret Hart's going to do a whole in-ring promo. But I guess the 67. Going to finish the show there. We're going to have a look at the tournament now. I will show you the tournament brackets after this. But yeah, 63 overall. That's the best explosion we've ever done. I will tell you that now. You can go into I've got to wait 3 months before I can do anything with Impact. I was going to just take this off TV. Right, before I can show you the tournament, or before I can do anything, will be helpful if I'm... Let's get this sorted. So I'm going to be on pay-per-view for that. I'm going to be not on pay-per-view for that. I'm going to be using Spike here. There goes use Spike, and is that the England one? Yeah. Oop. I do have some pay-per-view things because I need it. There you go. That's perfect. Right. We're in the Mid-Atlantic tonight at the Jack Combs field. I don't know what that is. I didn't remember. I didn't realise I picked the field. What am I doing? I'm showing you the tourneries. You already know that Brock Lesnar, Jimmy Hart, Bill Goldberg, and Hulk Hogan are all signed. You know that Mick Foley's signed. That's fine. They're going to be... They should be here, hopefully next week for the big show. Yeah. So next week they're going to debut. I've got big plans for them. We're going to doing a TNA Super Cup. The winner of the Super Cup will face AJ Styles at Victory Road in November. Our first 3-hour pay-per-view. So that's coming up. And that will feature Bill Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, Hogan, Sting. I haven't really decided on anyone else other than those guys. But the big names, because you can get some good matches out of that as well. Um, let's have a look at our tournament now. So as you can see here, Joe Lynn and Taguchi are both on 3 points. As you can see, I do like this. This looks amazing. Absolutely love how this works. But as I said, you've got Jay Lethal taking on Sanjay Dutt and Loki taking on Petey Williams on the pay-per-view tonight for the X Cup 2004. But yeah, we'll see you guys on the other side in a few seconds. Or for you, a click. For me, probably about half hour, 40 minutes of setting up the next show. See you for that very soon. Welcome back to TNA Wrestling. This is NWA TNA. We've got a 61 rated for Open Angle. We get a recap of last week's show. Then they say tonight we're on Spike and for the foreseeable future. Next we cut to the venue progress off on the stage, and then as I talking about the Super X Cup that begins tonight because Explosion's tape for tomorrow night. So these are the first two matches, and then on to the card as Joe will face DDP. AJ will give a shot for the title to Mick Foley, and tonight Sting will take on Samoa Joe. So that's all going on tonight's card. There's a lot going on tonight. Some people have been left off. I ain't done a pre-show or post-show tonight. I've left a lot of people off, including majority of Team Extreme and Sin, Slash, and Tempest. But in a bad Pro Wrestling and non-existent crowd, Jay Lethal defeated Sanjay Dutt in 8:03 by pinfall lethal injection. Sanjay Dutt 45, Jay Lethal 43. This, of course, was a part of the TNA Super X Cup. Gets a 33, not bad for our first match. In about a decent match crowd, Pro Wrestling, Brian Danielson defeated Michael Shane in 14:08 by submission and counter mutilation. Brian Danielson makes events number 3 of the X Division title. Michael Shane 34, Brian Danielson 54, get 50. Of course, Michael Shane gets his rematch, automatic rematch clause, so we had to give it to him. That's why he's not in the tournament. But gets a 50, not bad. And then Chris Daniels comes out of the match. He goes, after the match, Brian is relieved, is rewarded with his title again, and Chris Daniels comes out on stage. Michael Shane is on the angle, but he was I didn't put him on the screen because I've put him into the angle because he's in the ring, but he's making an appearance. We have sold out the Jack Combs field tonight, which is good. And I was like, well done, Brian. Great match. Next week, you got the biggest test of your championship reign, the Ultimate X. You see, 4 corners, 4 ropes, and the title in the middle. It's going to be us tearing it up in that ring. Now, I have been an asshole to you, but in this match, I wish you all the best of luck. This match, and Brian's like, Fallen Angel, welcome to the show. We are live on Spike TV. You see, next week, I'm not scared. I'm ready for the battle. I'm ready for this match. No ladders, no weapons, just you and me and pure strength for this title. May the best man win next week. And then they have a little stare down up the entrance ramp, and that, of course, will be one of the many matches. Bret Hart comes out in a bit and runs down the entire flipping card. We've got a lot planned for next week, including a special announcement. Ultimate Deathmatch, 2 out of 3 falls. Ooh, that's nice. Divas. I don't want Diva matches. One has one does circus. I checked this all and I made sure we had the Ultimate X, didn't I looked at this. We went through this. I made sure there was Ultimate X on here. We went, oh yes, there is. We can do it. La-di-da-di-da, didn't I? Yes, I did. So where is it now? I want to book this match in for next week. I want to get the best rating we've ever got for a show. And now I can't bloody do it because I ain't got the Ultimate X. Ultimate UFC. Ultimate Death, Ultimate Submission. Ultimate X. Thank you. I wasn't going bloody mad. Well, I am going mad. I've been going mad for years. Yeah, so we're going to have Daniels taking on Brian Danielson. That's going to be happening next week. That X Division title will be on the line, and it will be in the Ultimate X match. I'm so excited and pumped for this match. Yeah. This is one of the matches I've been looking forward to, Ultimate X 3. For the title, Chris Daniels versus Brian Danielson. Our first big match booked for this super special pay-per-view. Bret Hart comes out in a minute anyway. This gets a 52, which is the best angle I think these two have done. So we're in the depths of the building, in the ballroom or the basement, wherever you want it to be. Imagine one of them. And we see Abyss, he's pacing back and forth, and then James Mitchell enters, and Abyss just lunges at James, literally just flies at him, and pins him against the wall, breathing heavy, grunting and growling against the wall. Then he drops him and leaves the room looking like he's on a mission. Uh-oh. Somebody's in trouble. Abyss is pissed off and he's gonna pop your bubble. TNA on Spike tonight, ladies and gentlemen. 75 from Bret Hart. Beautiful promo. So we got back to the ring. Bret Hart is standing and he is ready. And Bret's like, next week is a super show like no other. Next week, right here on Spike TV, you'll see the debuts of Bill Goldberg and Brock Lesnar. We have a stat card for you all next week. In the main event, AJ Styles will take on Samoa Joe for the TNA Heavyweight Championship. As I said, we're about to book up this card, and you guys are going to be amped for it, hopefully, because I am. I think this is the best set of matches, best match card I've come up with on this database yet. Yeah, so AJ Styles taking on Samoa Joe. It is going to go about 34 minutes, and it will be for the TNA Heavyweight title. Samoa Joe versus AJ. I'm going to book a match with Bret Hart hasn't mentioned in the promo because we didn't have time. So we'll see Sting taking on facing Jeff Jarrett, Roddy Piper taking on Punk, Raven versus Josh Barnett, Ultimate X3 is Brian Dawson versus Chris Styles. This is a stacked show and will be live next week for the 2 hours. For 3 hours. We've seen the TNA X Cup start tonight, and in 2 weeks' time, the TNA Super Cup will begin. The winner of this round robin tournament will face whoever the world champion is in November, our first ever 3-hour pay-per-view, Victory Road. You see, TNA is going places, and like I said, it is going to be the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. Thank you. And he just gives the mic back to the lady and leaves the ring. So let's get into the card that he's announced. He's announced some matches. There is some more matches being added as we speak on TNA.com after the show had aired. We will get into them as well in a minute. As Jeff Jarrett will take on Sting. As said in the promo, we've got Jeff Jarrett versus Sting at the show. We're also going to see a rematch, actually, because they had a match at the TNA Live event. It'll be Roddy Piper taking on CM Punk. I don't know why that was a storyline I came up with, but it was, and it worked, so pre-book that. We're also going to get to see... give me a second, guys. CM Punk versus Roddy Piper. We're also going to get to see Raven taking on Josh Barnett. Something I've been building up. I actually ain't done a lot with the storylines this week. I've really done a poor job, and I'm going to say this show's a piss poor show from me for storyline involvement. But yeah, they're the matches what have been announced now. At the moment we don't know if it's official because of something that happens. I'm not going to announce it because I don't want to ruin the angle. But yeah, so far all we know is that Sin and Slash will defend the tag team titles in action. Sin and Slash will defend the tag team titles against Tommy Dreamer and Rhino next week on this super show. Hopefully Spike are ready for this. I think if I was, ESPN and I've lost the deal with TNA because they weren't giving us enough viewers, and then they see this card we're coming up with, I'd be pissed. And also the fact we're going to have Bill Goldberg and Brock Lesnar appearing as well on the card is huge. I guess 75. Let's move on. In October Wrestling, a non-existent crowd heat. Petey Williams defeated Low Key in 7:57 by the Canadian Destroyer. Low Key 50, Petey Williams 30. Terrible wrestling? I don't think so. Gets a 46. Beautiful. Another good match. In about a decent wrestling with treat, Chris Daniels defeated Matt Sydal in 7:32 by Pin of the Angels rings. Daniels 70. Matt Sydal got a 48 of 64. Not bad. In about good heat and decent wrestling, Roddy Piper and Raven Drew, CM Punk and Josh Barnett in 15:24, following a double countout. Raven 53, Roddy Piper 70, Josh Barnett 58, CM Punk up there with 51 now, giving us a 63 match. That's CM Punk's best in-ring performance we've had from him. And then, of course, they just have a massive brawl to the back, gets a 60. And then we see the cameras rushing backstage to find Abyss, who's just literally absolutely destroyed the Sandman. He's laid out in his own blood, and we can see him coughing up blood too. EMT's rushed to aid him. He's aid him. And Abyss is just laughing at this. You can hear him laughing. Now, originally it was going to be Rob Van Dam and Abyss, and Abyss and Tempest taking on Rob Van Dam and Sandman, but that match was now not going to happen because we've been informed that Sandman is going to be out for the next month after the injuries. But Jeff Hardy has stepped up to the plate, and it will be RVD and Jeff Hardy taking on the team of Abyss and Tempest. We know that Jeff Hardy's got problems with Abyss in the past, and obviously he's seen this attack and he's helping, and he's going to be an honorary member for Team Extreme at that show. So that's going to be happening. Hence why that match wasn't announced to many people because of this angle. But yeah, let's go to 51. In a bout of superb wrestling, Great Heat, Samoa Joe defeated Sting in 15:35 by People of the Island Driver. Sting 85, Samoa Joe 75, got an 81. We know that Sting, I know that I'm going to give Sting a little bit of money after the show. He's not going to be happy, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. I need to push Joe ahead of this thing. He's undefeated and he's facing AJ Styles next week. So, yeah, 81, not bad. In about the great heat and good wrestling, Diamond Page defeated you, Jeff Jarrett 15:27 with a Diamond Collar following interference from Sting. DDP 71, Jeff Jarrett 65. So the interference from Sting is not what you think it is. Sting didn't come out to the ring. All what happened was Jeff Jarrett's fighting DDP and his music plays. That is all that happens. His music and the lights play. And that gives Diamond Page enough time to hit the cutter. Gets a 74. Of course, Jeff Jarrett will be using that next week. But yeah, 74. Beautiful. And then the main event tonight is AJ Styles 10 on Mick Foley. And he gets a 68. In a bout of good heat and good heat and good wrestling, AJ Styles defeated Mick Foley in 24:42 by people with the Spiral Tap. AJ Styles makes defense number 1 of the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. AJ Styles 54, Mick Foley 81, got a 68. We're going to finish the show there. The reason AJ Styles only gets a 68, Jesus, that's not good. The only reason AJ Styles is struggling because he's not popular in these parts of the region, like he is at home and stuff. He does better at home. But ladies and gentlemen, that was part 3. This has been a hectic day for you guys. 3 parts of TNA in 2004. We've got through March. We're now heading into April. We've got a huge show next week with the debuts of Brock Lesnar and Bill Goldberg being confirmed by Bret Hart early tonight. We've not only got that, we've got the TNA Super Cup starting the week later. That's all coming up in episode number 4 of TNA in 2004.